from a very early age, I became obsessed with this question: how can I stop thinking about money? How can I make sure that I never have to keep thinking about money for the rest of my life? I didn't grow up poor, but I grew up in what I would describe as financial modesty. So money was always on our family's mind. It involved a lot of the decisions we made, and I just didn't want to live the rest of my life like that. So I decided that I need to solve the money problem. From an early age on, I had a paper route. I earned my first euros, and even later on, I got curious about finance and investing. And I realized that if I have enough money saved up, I can just live off the interest and don't have to ever work again. So I did some math, I did some calculations, and I realized that for me, that number would be $1 million. If I had a portfolio of $1 million, then I could live off the interest, which would be around $40,000 a year, which is not a lavish lifestyle, but it's still good enough to get by. You might have heard about this concept. It's from the FIRE community, like Financial Independence Retire Early, and they have the same idea: invest your savings and then live off the interest, and then you don't have to work anymore. Sounds pretty attractive to me. So I had to get as much money as possible and as fast as possible. Right now, I enjoy my job, and it's cool and it's fun, and I'm learning a lot. But it's not my life's purpose. So I want to get my time back to focus on the bigger things in life. So I'm making this video for you if you're just starting out, if you haven't really saved up anything, if you're living paycheck to paycheck even maybe, but if you're curious about getting that freedom back, and if you're watching this video, that means you're already ahead, because most people don't think about these things. That's why they haven't saved up anything. And if you focus on the subject, then you're going to get ahead. Right now, I'm at a point where I have a big portfolio at 26, and but to be honest, I don't really look at it. I don't exactly know how much is in there, and it doesn't bother me. And I would never even take anything out right now, because my bigger goal is the $1 million. And until I reach that, it's just none of my concerns how much is in there, except that I will keep adding. So I want to help you to save up your own $100K. Like, that's a decent amount. And if you don't have anything right now, then that might sound overwhelming. Like, if I have my basic job and I'm saving $2,000 a month, that means I need to save for 50 months. Like, that's forever. That's 5 years. Wow. But it doesn't have to be so intimidating, because with the right mindset and the right goals in place, you can reach there, and that's pretty empowering, I feel. If you want to save up this money, then you have to keep two things in mind. One is that you have to get good at something so that people can hire you and pay you money for that skill, and also you have to get good at letting people know what you can do so that they can hire you. I took a different path. I became an employee first. I focused on building and software engineering, which is a cool job. Like, I quite enjoy it, but if I wanted financial freedom, I should have chosen sales first, because it's easier to earn a lot of money fast. I don't regret my path, because later on in life, it's going to be important to be able to build things and to put things out there. It's going to give me a lot of leverage, but my goal of reaching financial freedom early on was delayed by that. So if you don't want that, then focus on getting attention first. So how do I get good at something? You get good at something by staying disciplined every day. There's this really cool book called Mastery by this author, Robert Greene, which I really enjoy reading. And there's a quote, which is that time is key for mastery, and it's the magic ingredient. And I really resonate with that, because nowadays everybody's looking for a shortcut, right? Everybody wants to know, how can I accelerate this? How can I avoid putting in the work, putting in the hours? And time is the magic ingredient. You have to stay disciplined every day, focus and practice. Imagine you're a swimmer. You're doing your laps in the pool. It takes you 1 minute, 50 seconds, doesn't really matter. Maybe you're not so fast that it takes you 1 minute 30, like me. But practice becomes very easy when you know that what you're doing will 100% guaranteed lead to a payoff. If you just keep practicing your swimming, your time will drop. You will get faster. You will improve, and you will get better. And that's really exciting. If you just practice enough, 100% guaranteed, you will get there. So, to get good at something, you have to be confident that what you're doing is leading you in the right direction. If not for swimming, because most of us will never ever earn any money from swimming or sports in general, you can choose a different game. You should get good at something that you're curious about so that you have built-in motivation, but also something useful. Python, for example, the programming language, can be a game that you master, where every day you practice something, you try building something, and you get better every day, and eventually you're going to be unstoppable. The last thing is that you need to keep the bigger picture in mind. There's two types of goals. There's the finite goals, like having $1 million investment portfolio, and there's the evergreen, infinite games that you can follow. Ultimately, we're going to end up all at the infinite game because, let's face it, if you play your cards right, you're going to reach these finite goals. I'm going to reach my $1 million investment portfolio, and it's probably going to happen sooner than I realize, and that's pretty exciting to think about. But a lot of people say that after they reach their freedom, after they get wealthy, after they become successful, they're hit with this immediate depression, and because they lost all meaning, they don't know what to do. So it's important to keep the bigger picture in mind and also keep in mind some infinite goals that you can focus on once you reach your success. To be fair, right now, the finite game is squarely on my mind. I want to be free, I want to be able to quit my job, and I want to get there very fast. But eventually, I'm going to get there, you're going to get there, so you need to keep the other goals in mind. To stay disciplined, because once you're pursuing mastery, the days can get very repetitive. You're doing the same stuff every day, and eventually you're going to start questioning, why am I even doing this? Like, what's this for? Is it even working? Am I going to get there? So it's important to keep these reminders around. Like, for example, I have these printed pictures in my house that show me where I want to live. Or I have this small glass bottle where I keep grains of rice in there for every $1,000 in my investment portfolio. So I can see that I'm actually building. So once the bottle is full, I will have reached my portfolio. And that's, again, exciting. Some people like to journal. I recently started joining masterminds to keep in touch with people who are pursuing similar goals, because the exchange and the connection will lead you forward and give you a lot of progress. Success comes from mindset. And if you focus on these three things, to get good at things, to sell something, and to keep the bigger picture in mind, you are far further ahead towards your $100,000 than you realize right now. Anyways, I'm Nikolai. If you're new here, I make these kinds of videos, and subscribe for more. I will catch you in the next video. Bye-bye.